Our second question will be answered by Mr. John Rizzo, Julian Davis, and Christina Olague. And that is, what's your position in regard to medical marijuana dispensaries in District 5, particularly in light of recent events at the Vapor Room and other clubs in the district?
First, I think it's very unfortunate that the federal government is doing what it's doing, not only in California but across the country, just cracking down and basically trying to shut the whole thing down. That said, I think a better approach, rather than this law and order type approach, would be regulation. Would be actual laws regulating it like we regulate other things locally, so that if a liquor store wants to go in, it would be the same procedure. You have licensees, you have rules to follow. That's very difficult now with what the federal government is doing, because the local municipalities they're kind of in the vacuum right now. If that settles down, that's what I think we should do. We should proceed to do this systematically and have rules that are clear and unambiguous that everyone can come up with.
Hi, Julian Davis again. Let's see. It's frustrating. Right now, it's clear that the voters of San Francisco, the voters of the state of California, unequivocally support the right to safe patient access to medical marijuana. That is completely not to be debated. The question is why the federal government at this point, in complete contradiction with their own stated mandate from a couple of years ago, the Obama administration, is now going after medical cannabis. I find it appalling and mystifying. We have a clear local and state mandate for medical cannabis. I've been out there, supporting the medical cannabis community for many years. The Vapor Room, HopeNet was recently shut down as well. And medical cannabis activists, some of whom are in the room here tonight, we're frustrated. We're frustrated because there's not a lot we can do when the federal government comes down and brings us a Reagan-era rule and starts deciding that they're just going to, the DEA and the rest are going to start going after landlords and shutting down medical cannabis dispensaries. We've done just about all we can do on the local and state level. There's progress that we can make to play by the rules and to have consistent regulation and to do all that. We've been doing a great job of it. And here's the federal government stepping in and telling us that what we're doing here somehow doesn't make sense to them and isn't right. But what they're doing is not right. And we need advocates in City Hall to stand up, work with our local and state leaders to continue the vision for medical cannabis and safe patient access to medical cannabis in San Francisco and the state of California. And I will do that.
As a member of the Planning Commission, I was one of the strongest advocates for safe access. We started permitting these medical cannabis dispensaries about 7 years ago. I think it's very sad when you see good operators like the Vapor Room and HopeNet shut their doors, which I believe really does sometimes lead patients to have to look for other means of accessing their medicine. And I think that in this debate, one of the things that a lot of people forget is that medical cannabis is exactly that. It's medicine. And there are patients that need it. And I full-heartedly support safe access to medical cannabis and the San Francisco Medical Cannabis Program. Currently, my office is working with the medical cannabis community, and we have been, since I've been appointed for the past 7 months, to establish an emergency re-permitting plan for those facilities affected by federal interference. So a lot of folks, after their places shut down, they can no longer serve their community. So it's created quite a lot of problems for people who need that to survive and to function on a daily basis. Again, I've long supported it. I will continue to support it. One of the problems I see as we shut these cannabis dispensaries down is we're creating blights in the community. We're shutting down good businesses, good players, the Vapor Room. They donated to local nonprofits. They were a good neighbor. They provided eyes on the streets, and they employed people. So we lose a lot more than just safe access when a medical cannabis dispensary closes. We lose good small businesses and employment. So it's a bigger issue than, I believe, than the press is sort of letting it be.